Hi there, I'm Tobi Lynn from Amazing Radio, and I have the pleasure of hanging out with Kyle and Nick from the band Tyde, with a Y. I always say that to make sure that people can find you.
Absolutely, that's a very helpful one. Probably something that we should always lead with, but don't.
Now, you just released your second EP called Mantra. It's so groovy, and it's just so, you can put it on and just listen. Like I listen to it over and over and over again. It's so lovely. And so thank you for putting it out into the world for us.
Well, thank you for listening to it.
Just really grateful to hear you say that. Yeah.
I've never interviewed a band that does sort of like lo-fi, all instrumental music that is also has, like, each song has a meaning for you guys. And there's a lot about, love and loss. How do you decide that that's what the song is about if it's instrumental?
A lot of the music we make, I think we describe it as reflective. I think we're able to kind of capture the vibe, like, or the essence of what, it might have been what we were going through at that time.
I think it's feeling, isn't it? I guess what sonically it kind of makes you feel like, rather than obviously lyrics will describe a certain situation or story or scenario. It's kind of how the tracks will sonically make you feel. I think it's like you say, we'll kind of draw from an experience and think, right, how would you put that into a sound rather than a lyric?
Well, it translates that way too. I mean, you feel that, you feel it in your soul. Mantra is going to be our album of the week at Amazing Radio. And so we wanted to kind of talk about each of the tracks. You start off with the song Can't We, which, by the way, is such a vibe. I mean, it just starts out and just like... What was kind of the impetus behind that one?
I think I came home from work really, really late one night or something, and it was like probably 2 a.m. I was like, definitely the time you should go to bed, but I was like, stop putting, limitations on when you can and can't make music, just make it. And it was sort of like a concept thing in that you don't have to have all of this time and all of this gear and all of, just kind of limit yourself and see what you can do. And then that's kind of how it came about. It was like, can't we just do it anyway, sort of thing.
It was almost like you were seeing what you could do with almost limited, like kind of sonic sounds. Because I think a lot of the sounds on that, still to now, like the majority of the sounds are, I think, Logic native sounds. That's what kind of gave it that super lo-fi, very electronic-y kind of feel, I think.
Now the next track is called Forgive.
Oh, don't.
Oh no, was this a hard one?
Yes.
Basically, we took this poor song, we took this around the world. We tried out all different genres and resampled, and we tried everything we could possibly imagine, and we just couldn't make it work, and we almost gave up on it a few times as well. The guys at Majestic Casual, who we're lucky enough to release this EP with, sort of said, no, guys, you can't sub out this song. Don't be stupid. There's something in here. You just got to find it. And we're like, oh, God. We eventually managed to kind of land on the sound that we ended with. And then we ended up calling it Forgive because we had to
forgive it, yeah.
That was a real journey for me and Nick.
Yeah, a labor of love.
Yeah, very much. And it was nearly tools down and like, let's just scrap the whole thing.
I'm glad it made it on the EP because it's awesome. And that brings us to things we used to do. This one is super groovy to me as well. This one and Can't We? I mean, O is my favorite, but things we used to do, there's definitely there's a groove to that. And I know that there's a story behind that one, isn't there? Because you're kind of being reminiscent of pre-COVID days.
Well, I think it was kind of a stamp in time. I think we were calling it Things We Do for a long time. And then obviously it was just like, hang on a minute, it's not quite Things We Do, is it? Because, it became a really reminiscent thing of stuff that used to happen. This sounds like where we want to be, in a festival or out drinking in the sun or whatever and stuff. And we kind of sort of played on that, I think, and just tried to make it sound as kind of joyful and kind of celebratory as possible.
It's kind of just being around people, just being like, you know, be it friends or like, you know, like Nick says, at a festival with strangers, and like sunny days on the park with a group of friends with a few cans, or I don't know, just like, and everything in between.
That song definitely is the sunniest on the EP for sure. I mean, and I could definitely see dancing at a festival. So one of these days when things get back to full normal capacity, hopefully we can see you guys play that at a festival.
Hope so,
awesome.
Yeah.
And then number 4, the song is What More featuring Victory. This is the only song with actual vocals on it. How did you decide on that? Had you worked with Victory before, or?
She came in when I was working with another artist, but she came in as a backing singer, just doing sort of BVs and stuff with this guy. And I just remember at the time thinking, whoa, okay. This track was the first song that Kyle and I made kind of in the same room together after like a huge hiatus. We just kind of sat down and started playing, and it just sort of was this slow, way more groovy thing. And we were like, okay, I guess we should just let that run kind of thing. And it wasn't something we feel we could just kind of let run with no lyrics.
So what's the meaning of love? What's the meaning of trust? What's the meaning of us? I guess it don't matter. But
The majority of our stuff kind of just doesn't really meld with like a full vocal over the top, because it's quite pokey and like it's like incredibly instrumental music. And so when this one kind of came out, it was almost like we turned to each other and was like, yeah, now we can get a proper vocals on this. Nick just brought up Victory, and then I was like, well, yeah, that sounds amazing. We sent the track over, and she sent back ideas, and then we managed to get into the studio sort of when it was safe to do so. And yeah, it was just amazing and it was nice to bring someone else in, because it's been me and Nick for a long time, which is great, but just to bring someone else in and just kind of get that like a bit of a different dynamic was just it was really nice.
I see what you're saying, Carl. I see what you're saying.
I mean, we were in a pandemic, so you know. And then you end the EP with what I feel is the crown jewel of this EP mantra. The song is called "Oh," with a period at the end. Hopefully, I'm assuming that was intentional. Period at the end. Oh,
just a little mistake.
Yeah, but talk a little bit about this song.
As you can hear, again, it's a kind of more a sonic embodiment of something or someone that kind of is obviously no longer in your life anymore, and then the kind of abrupt whiplash feeling of, oh, okay, I'm just good. This is what it's going to be like from now on, kind of thing, which everyone's gone through at some point, be it love lost or grieving people who are no longer with us, or any which thing that they may have lost. And I think it's just kind of coming to terms with that. I think just sort of coasting into the next part of your life, which is, you know, acceptance, I guess, that person or thing is gone, really.
Definitely, yeah. As we said earlier on, like, just like, it being reflective, it isn't necessarily like a sad song. It's almost the kind of understanding that these things happen, and they do happen, and then you move on. And it's quite moody, but it isn't necessarily sad. But you know, you can kind of, it can be about something sad, but also that, you know, you pass through it, you move on.
I'm so excited to connect with you. Thank you guys for taking time for us here at Amazing Radio. We're big fans, and we cannot wait. Do you have a kind of a proposed date for the third EP, or is it that's wide open still?
We're in kind of super early stages of the third EP currently, so there isn't a date yet. And so if you could keep questions like that away from our label as well, that would be great.
Yeah.
Okay. Kyle, Nick, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. They are Tyde, Tyde, and their new EP is called Mantra. It's available now. And I think almost all of the songs are on Amazing Radio, but we'll get the other ones up there, whatever's not up there, so that we can feature it for the album of the week.
Amazing.
So
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks.
Of course. Thank you guys. Have a lovely day. Enjoy your tea, Nick.
Thank you very much.